The United Nations says Australia needs to change its migration laws and stop rejecting refugees. It comes as tensions rise and authorities in Papua New Guinea warn they'll use force to remove more than 600 refugees at the closed Manus Island detention centre if the men aren't gone by tomorrow. Bridget Burke reports.
A message from the United Nations to Australia.
What they cannot do is that they cannot treat asylum seekers as criminals and detain them, and they cannot absolve themselves of their duty not to send them back to danger. So we are actually, the standard that we are setting, we think is a standard which is quite minimalistic, and that we expect most countries in the world, certainly countries that assume a leadership position in the world of human rights, such as Australia, that was just elected to the Human Rights Council, to embrace these standards.
The Vice-Chairman of the United Nations Human Rights Committee, Yuval Shani, said his committee, which monitors countries' compliance with the Global Human Rights Treaty, rejected Australia's position that it had no obligation toward the welfare of the refugees. Instead, the committee's 18 experts warned Australia to move the men to safety in Australia.
And we call on Australia to, in paragraph 36 of the report, to end its offshore transfer arrangements, and to arrange following the closure of these processing centres, to ensure that the individuals held there are transferred to Australia or relocated to other appropriate safe country, and to monitor the situation after closure of the centre. So this was certainly a strong concern for the committee.
Australia has been widely criticised by the United Nations and rights groups for detaining asylum seekers who try to reach its shores by boat, even if they are found to be refugees, and keeping them on offshore processing centres in Nauru and Papua New Guinea. Over the past few weeks, conditions have worsened for the 600 men, who are mostly from the Middle East and Southeast Asia. Water, power and other services have been cut, and fences around the centre have been removed.
What we want? Freedom! What we want? Freedom! What we want?
Australia has removed its security staff, and the men, including Abdulaziz Adam, originally from Sudan, are refusing to move to a nearby town.
They cut the services on Manus Island. We have been denied our basic needs, water and food and electricity. That does not mean that we are going to surrender. We have been in this place for 4.5 years and we have not committed any crime.
Footage released by an activist filmed inside the detention centre today shows the desperate and filthy conditions the refugees are living in.
There is no water, the shower is not working, the hand wash. As you see, this is a very filthy place. They put these things around this in about 2 years. We hadn't had these irons in here. It was all wood, and there was a lot of cockroaches moving around everywhere. As you see, this tap is also not working. There is no water here, and the toilet is people use for urination and use this bottle for that. Because of the dirtiness and the filthy place that these toilets are. Many people got gastro problems that got very ill because of using these toilets. We had 20 people in a day, many times for weeks, that they had gastro issues.
One man shows a makeshift system the men are using for drinking water. A pipe captures rainwater and carries it to recycling bins lined with clear plastic.
This is the water that we have saved. It's about 20 rubbish bin that we have here.
Amnesty International has also waded into the debate. It says the situation is a man-made crisis and has blamed both the PNG and Australian governments for leaving the men without food, clean water or proper sanitation.
On past week, we have been struggling with starvation. There is not any food and water in this detention center. But I would like to say and send this clear message to the government, the PNG government and Australian government, that we are not going to leave this detention center to another detention center. We only want freedom in a safe country, and it is a clear message.
Amnesty International maintains the nearby town of Lorengau only has facilities to cater for 100 and not 600 men. Just how many end up there will become evident as the deadline for the men to leave approaches tomorrow. For Checkpoint, Bridget Burke.